Hello, my name is GregTech and welcome back to our GregTech New Horizons Season 2. I am just setting up a little thing here because, as I remember, the last episode we set up our what's it called? Uranium? No, we set up the Iguana fuel, the tier 3 in our fuel thing, and we crafted up like 10,000 or something or whatever of this high density uranium, or 5,000. I can't remember. It's still crafting up actually. But I didn't actually realize at the time that these high density uranium nuggets actually give back almost a full dust. Now, obviously it's not actually. Yeah, they give almost all the tungsten carbide back. Actually, now that I'm looking at that, because one, or is it 4? What do you get? I don't remember. Do you get 4 or 8? Or you get 4 from that. So, okay, so it's not like a full one, but yeah. So you get a bunch of that back, but it is in tiny dusts. I don't have the multi-block, which I might actually build at some point, because we're going to be getting it here and also from the plutonium as well. The plutonium gives back the tiny piles of HSS dust. So basically, you can use that to craft up more. That one actually gives a better ratio, doesn't it? Because it's only 2. The other one is 4. But yeah, I figured I would turn that all back into the dust and then we can reuse it, as opposed to just having it pile up. Yeah, we got 230,000. We're not even like really keeping up with it. So we'll end up with lots of that. So we'll just do that. Like I said, probably easier if we just had the multi-block to do that, but I don't have... That's a whole separate multi-block. Unfortunately, that doesn't go on a processing thing. Amazon warehousing depot. Kind of funny, because that's the packager. So anyway, I set that up. I also was kind of looking around for how to get... I was kind of curious what the next tier up of fuel would be. Obviously, we have the tier 3. I was kind of like looking. I was like, oh, yeah, we have all this stuff. Maybe we could even get it up even higher to the tier 4. We do need the tier 2 coils, but I was just kind of looking around to see how we get this. And the one thing that I was a little confused about was the praise stuff. Now, there is an ore, but there is no... It doesn't spawn on a planet. It doesn't spawn with a space elevator. You can only get it from like the meteors, and I'm like, well, I'm not about to set up a meteor ritual. I haven't used any of them yet, and I don't particularly plan on it unless it's absolutely necessary. But I did see when I was looking through. Just happened to see this recipe. You get a bunch of it there, but this is thorium-based liquid fuel. So I was kind of thinking maybe sending that through for a while. I mean, you don't get much power from it, but it lasts forever. I don't know if it would really be worth it. You can always send it through a neutron reactor and just turn it into the depleted. You don't get anything from it other than just converting it. Or you can send it through the reactor. I may turn off the awakened stuff. I don't know if it would be worth it. With all the... Yeah, actually, I don't know. I have no idea how much we would get from that. I guess I could try. I did set up the recipes for it. Again, we have this high density stuff, which is a bit of a pain. Same kind of situation. This one ends up with tungsten steel. So we would end up with like massive amounts of tungsten steel dust, which we may have to deal with this. But I thought I could maybe have that run while I'm doing other things. I don't necessarily need the fuel running permanently. I could run it like when we need like a big boost of power, but for the most part, it's going up. It's when I have everything running that I need a little bit of a boost. I do have a bucket of this stuff. I could just throw it in to see what we get. I am kind of curious, actually. Why don't we do that? Let's just see. Now, I think you do have to be careful with this reactor thing. Also, you want to do that. You do get 4 buckets out of it. So you get quite a bit more fuel than the other route, than the Quada or whatever. But you get a million times less power. Oh, I went to the wrong one. I think you need to... Let's look this up really quick. This reactor... I feel like I saw a warning. There it is. If you put... Yeah, the reactor will explode if there's more than one types of fuel. So you gotta be like really careful with that. I think... Like you can't do like a quad input hatch or whatever, I guess I'm trying to say. We are gonna be producing different fuel. Maybe I should set up a second one, because I actually do need this. I could spell. But hatch. That one has, I think that has, maybe not. I thought that had covers on it, but it does. So I guess I will depleted. I'll just set. Ooh, it didn't. Maybe it will in a second. Oh, there it goes. It just checked. Sometimes it takes a second. Depleted. I don't know if I'm going to even bother with that fuel, to be honest. You don't get like anything remotely exciting from it. So I'm just going to put that down there, make sure nothing is on. I'm not voiding anything. All right, cool. So yeah, you do have to be careful because I do have an ender fluid. I don't want to like accidentally turn that on and try to send fuel in here, but I don't know. We'll see. So there is that. I'm just kind of curious how much power we get from this. Because that is going to last for, yeah, 25 seconds. Every 16, it lasts for 25 seconds. It's probably like 100,000. I doubt it's like any power at all. Yeah, 100,000. I don't know if it'd be worth it sending this through here for 100,000 EU per tick. That's producing 100 million. I may just send it through the neutron thing. And this is basically solely for the thorium-based liquid fuel. We get that, which we would use somewhere through here. We would use to get the Mark IV. I think that is really the... Other than going the meteor route, which I really don't want to. Unfortunately, because this is thorium, it's a very slow recipe, so I don't know. I may just let that run. I don't know if it's really worth it wasting atomic separation catalyst for getting like no power. I'll let that run. I'll let it just empty out. I'm not going to put any more in it, I don't think, but yeah, that's cool. So I have decided, well, I decided to craft up some more of the CoAL things, the assembly line casings, because I kind of wanted to see how much we drain our power. And if you remember when I cut last, we were at what, like 598 or something like that. So with that, that is 4 of them crafting up. That's most of the things, but I am noticing, and I have noticed this a little bit before, is that we're being bottlenecked by the wetware stuff, and I knew that was going to be an issue since I've sped everything up with, you know, our thing is being sped up. But there are two main kind of bottlenecks right now, and that is Neutronium, because we're not producing it fast enough. We have some now from our processing, but it is definitely we're using so much of it is kind of like the issue with at least with those, we are using an absolute ton of them. So double checking that didn't have anything in it. Yeah, as you can see, it is 299 seconds. I do think, and we are doing like that. I don't think 64 would be the correct thing to do here. I don't know. That seems like it would be kind of crazy. Because 16 it does as much as it can. Yeah, it's running 33, so times 4 would be like 120 million. I mean, yeah, I can run it now that I've, you know, fixed all our things, we can run it. The only problem is the fuel. So I got to decide how I want to go about doing that. With the thing. Now, obviously, we can't do the tier 4 yet. I would need the new tiers, so I think we'll just do that. I did want to get some of the thorium stuff going, because I probably will. We'll do that, but I think, yeah, we'll probably just stick to the neutron activator. So I'm going to have to craft one of those up. I might even just put it right here or something like that. Possibly. Although, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I was kind of planning on building a second one of these, but it's going to be awkward getting the power into that thing now that I have done that. I could always... Yeah, that now that I built that there is a bit awkward. But I do want to get this. I just I don't produce it fast enough for it to run continuously. It doesn't seem like... I don't think you like waste it if it like runs out or something like that. It's not like the fusion reactor. If it turns off, you lose power or anything like that. Like turning on and off or whatever would be an issue. So I may... Well, I don't have... Yeah. So there are definitely some pieces to this that I haven't sorted out yet completely. Obviously, this is turned off at the moment. We could turn it on. I forget. I think we did. Disable. Yeah. So we can produce more of that stuff, but I don't want... I need to make sure I don't go through all that. So, yeah, and I just used a whole bunch of it as well. I don't know. No. All right. Before I worry about this, though, I need to speed up our wetware circuits. Yeah, I just got to decide like how I'm doing this. Like the enriched would be good. There's one that just uses hydrofluoric acid, which is easier than the antimony stuff. The problem with that is we don't get the unstable, which is what we use to craft up that. It's just... I mean, it's cool. It's a little bit more complicated than just mixing two things in a fusion reactor, but yeah, it definitely... Okay, so, like I said, I need to do this. So, a couple circuit assembly lines. Don't think... 4. I don't think they need wetware circuits, if I remember. I'm just thinking because we're crafting up wetware circuits right now, so... Yeah, this is LUV stuff. I don't think they use wetware. No, it's crystal. So I'm thinking we'll probably just do what I did over here. And kind of make multiple of these is what I'm thinking. At least get this one going. Yeah, because most of it is waiting on... I think most of it was waiting on at least... I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. We do have the advanced assembly line for these. The problem is waiting for the other circuits. All right. So yeah, let me get that crafted up. Let me boost this. Guess we'll just have to do what I did before. We'll get rid of this subnet kind of deal. Docking input buses. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, we are back, and you can see I added the 2 for the wetwares. Just really quick, remember I have the level maintainer in the base set to craft up indoloy. I may need to increase it, the amount, but for now it seems fine. I just have LV ones. We don't really need tons of them in there. Then this is on the main network, and then this is the sub network. Now, I just did a chest instead of doing a drive. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but yeah. So this is just a ME chest, but you do have to. I think you have to insert from the top. So interface is on the chest right there. So that is what is in the ME chest. You can see. Doesn't take up too much stuff, but yeah, there we go. And then the docking input buses for each of them, and then the output goes directly to the main network. So yeah, there we go. There is 3 of them running for wetware circuits. I'll probably do even more. And I also added another dynamo over here, so I have 32 amps of UV going this way. I didn't feel like dealing with transforming all this stuff up and fixing all these things, so I have these transforming up right there just specifically for these ones on the front. But the rest are all like UV. So yeah, there we go. There is the wetware. I'm crafting up like 180 something mainframes right now. It was 180. We're down to 154 now. So I just kind of wanted to see where the bottlenecks were. To be honest, it's actually everything seems to be kind of just working. Nothing seems to be waiting. From what I'm looking, everything's on and running. I could maybe add another one here. This one does seem to be... I could add one each for those. This one, it's waiting on the thing. So basically, once I get 16, since those craft up in groups of 16, then it crafts 5 of the wetware assemblies or whatever, the mainframes. So yeah, probably could double up on these, would speed it up a bit. So maybe I'll do that after that group finishes. It's just having to create more subnets is a little bit annoying. Already oh, this one, I already did a subnet over here. Yeah, because the things they got clogged up. So I turned this into a subnet, but I would switch that over probably to do the same thing, which means don't have the indoloi being crafted. We'll just add it. We'll just keep it stocked with the indoloi. That would be the easiest. All right. Oops. So yeah, I don't want to mess this up while it's working though. I would have to break things and recipes and stuff. So we'll just let this finish up. It's going to take 20-30 minutes of real time, I think. I'll go do something else. I'll be right back. So I actually ended up, or I didn't. Here, let me just get these going. I need 270 more mainframes. So what? 100? Yeah, 35. I need to increase the amount of things I keep. I just haven't. I haven't got around to it. I guess I should do it. Yeah, I need to like keep more of these in stock. Like 16,000 or something like that. I don't have enough to craft up 500 and something mainframes all at once because I don't keep enough silicon in stock. Maybe I should just do that while I'm here. Is that what I want to do? Now that I'm thinking about it. Might just be better to keep silicone rubber on the A system and then fluid solidify it as needed so I could do millions at once kind of thing instead of keeping this in stock. Because I'm kind of doing this. This is from our first season I did this. I kept a bunch of the stuff in stock. Or I could even keep stuff in stock, but instead of having this automatically do it, we'll solidify it on like the main one and maybe do like keep 10,000 in stock on the level maintainer. That's probably better than doing this. But this was, I kind of did this because this is how I did it in the first season when fluid crafting wasn't as easy. So trying to like get these crafted up, there was no way to do like 144 millibuckets of that equals 1 ingot kind of thing. That like really wasn't a thing in our first season. So maybe I should switch that over. Think about that. But we did do there. Obviously we have done that. I'm like, why aren't these working? Are they just not? Or just not crafting up multiple at a time. What I did do was increase I ramped up the power. Obviously, we don't have UEV yet, so I can't do the next tier up. The highest I can do right now is UHV. The circuit assemblers do not accept multiple amps. I'm pretty sure they don't accept lasers, and they don't accept more than one, so you can't overclock it to the next tier up. So this is as much as I can. But I did kind of, I replaced these with the UHV energy hatches, and that really sped up the thing. I think this is down to 11 seconds. This is down to like 22 or something like that, as opposed to like 90 that it was before. So that is much quicker. But yeah, so I probably should do that instead of like just crafting in batches because of the amount of silicon rubber that it needs. Yeah, it needs 2,000. So I keep 4090 in stock, so 270 was just a bit too much. But I guess we could do, yeah, so if I did like silicone rubber fluid solidifier. Oh man, do it this way. Did I ever make a dedicated? Now I'm like, this was my fluid solidifier crafting, wasn't it? That's the fluid extractor. This. We did craft up a solidifier, didn't we? No, that's the lathe. Didn't I? Yes. Here. I really need to have a thing on. No, that's just... Oh, that's... Right. Kidding. That's our extractor. That's just dedicated to GregTech. I guess I could do it. I was trying to like avoid using this one because this is like my Neutronium, my tin, my europium. But I guess we could just use this one. Do we... I may have broken something now that I'm thinking about it. Are we... Are we really low on? Or did I just not connect it? Oil, rubber. I'm trying to remember where I put silicone rubber. Lubricant, coolant. Oh, no. Yeah, I think I broke something when I broke down my oil. Okay. I gotta get that sorted. I don't know what part broke. What broke? Methane, that's right. Was getting methane from... I was getting methane from our charcoal byproducts or whatever, and I completely forgot about it. Oops. Gotta fix that. So I might do a different... It's this. I'm like, I might do a different recipe. I was using methane, but maybe we'll do something different. I gotta fix that right now. So we are back. I fixed the methane that we were getting from our charcoal byproducts. We actually get it from the space elevator. It took me a while to actually notice that. I was looking around through like all the chemical reactor recipes and stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe hydrogen and carbon. And then I never noticed there was a space elevator thing. So I did that, got that set up. Planet 5, value 9, we get our methane. So that is pumping the stuff into the silicone rubber. It's just kind of like it's like our very original setup. A lot of this stuff is just like the very first time I set up with like LV hatches and stuff like that when I didn't need that. So that's just slowly kind of working. It does take a while because you only get it's like 144 millibuckets per pulp or whatever. You're not getting like a bucket at a time. So it's just slowly filling up the thing again. But that's going to take a long time. We'll just let that run. Also, why is chlorine not a pumpable thing? We have hydrogen, oxygen, fluorine, sulfuric acid, like everything. But like chlorine is not a pumpable thing on the space elevator. I don't know. Seems weird. Anyway, yeah. So I was crafting up, or attempting to craft up. I actually just canceled it because I noticed something. I was crafting up 30 more of these. So I've previously, I crafted up 480 of these mainframes that we need, 720 of those, and these. I've crafted up a bunch of this stuff already. And I noticed that we were like really struggling from Neutronium, and for some reason we've been really struggling for a while now. I was getting a little... It felt like we weren't producing it fast enough for what we were running. I had that item thing running over here doing the combs. You know, we pipe in the talic acid and then the combs, and we produce molten Neutronium. And so I was like, why aren't we... It just didn't feel like enough. So I was like, we'll just let the mega thing work, and then I will set up I moved the mega chemical reactor over here and hooked it up with lasers, just because lasers are so easy to upgrade. I can just like switch these out for whatever we want. So that is actually running, and quite a bit of power. I think it's running at 200 million. So I'm trying to get a bunch of Neutronium crafted up for these components. So I was trying to figure out, I was like, oh, I don't know how much it's crafting up at a time. Because the time actually doesn't go down, it crafts more up. It does more parallel kind of thing. And it's just going to be pumped into here. And then I was like, it finished crafting. And the Neutronium didn't go in this hatch. And I was a bit confused. I was like, oh, it has a fluid storage bus. Why isn't it going in that hatch? And then I looked in the A system. And yeah, I have 180,000 ingots worth of molten Neutronium in our A system. That isn't, for some reason, decided to stop going into this input bus, and I don't know why. So I'm just going to switch this to an export bus. I have such issues with the fluid storage buses. I don't know. So yeah, that actually hasn't been going into the fluid solidifier for I don't know how long. No wonder I was struggling with Neutronium. It was like the weirdest thing. And I just never noticed that wasn't going in there for some reason. I don't know why the fluid storage bus decided to stop working. So I'll just go back to that, and then this will create all the Neutronium ingots that we need for the thing. So I'm going to let this run and convert all that stuff to Neutronium, and then I'm going to craft up the 30 more of these that we need. I am going to wait until that's done because there's no point in running that. Meanwhile, is that turned off? Yeah, it turned off. I'm going to craft up a whole bunch of the plutonium. Still haven't decided how I want to go about doing this. Do we not have enough plutonium? We might not be... yeah, we're a bit short on plutonium-239 because I don't have the B going. Interesting. All right. So, a couple of things we got to do. Still sorting out the fuel over there. I actually don't have our bees running at all right now, I don't think. Also, this is another thing I need to... upgrade the bee thing, because it's only running on UV. And that's kind of why another reason I was thinking, like, if we piped in the transformer directly into here. Also, I need to get all these taken care of as well. So many different things I need to just clean up with the base, and haven't gotten around to doing that. But usually when I'm crafting up a whole bunch of components for something, it's a good time to like work on that. And like all our tanks and stuff, I have been kind of putting this off, but this all needs to be done as well, because I actually plan on running lasers down here as well. So this will be another like main line will go that way. So same on the other side. So that, and then we'll have another access to the main line of the lasers. But all right, anyway, like I said, this is going to take me a second. We will get our components crafted up here, and we will get that upgraded in the next episode. It's going to take me some time to convert all that Neutronium. Anyway, that's going to be for today. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.